Good morning, Minecraft, and welcome to the world of Archespore. Okay, in this episode, I'm actually going to start working on the underwater dome. So, here we are back at the workstation. Don't really know. Why does it do that? That's so weird. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to test how many bubbles get used up before I hit the ocean floor here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a lot of bubbles. We're using up. By the time we get to the floor, we don't have enough bubbles to get back to the surface. So, alright, well, I'm going to try and make the arc and be right back. Okay, now I'm back in the underwater way station or workstation, and let's take a look at what I've got laid out. Not sure how this is going to show up on the video, but I think I can light it with this little trick. It seems that the water retains the light. Oh crap, I'm dying. Need to get back. Need to get back. Whoa! Alright, let's try and bring some breathing tools this time. Okay. Okay, that was not pleasant. Try this again. Okay. Head over here, place a light, place a breathing point, place a light, and a breathing point. Okay. So, as you can see above me, there are these blocks, and each one of them is exactly 10 blocks from the center point. Let's see if I can get a good look at the center point. There's the center point with the beacon above it, and each one is 10 out from the center, and that marks the radius of the dome. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and start creating the circle around for my dome. And because this is a long ways underwater, I can't just place some blocks, surface, place some more blocks, and surface. It gets really difficult doing that and would take a very long time. I'd be able to place one block before having to surface again, which is why I'm using these reeds as breathing points. So I can catch my breath before I start suffocating again. And try another light. There we go. Light. And I need a breathing point. Okay. There we go. Oops. Back up. Now the problem with the reeds, though, is they have to be a block above, or there has to be a block of water one block below them. So I can't just place reeds out here in the middle. That won't work. with with glass panes, I can just place them anywhere and they'll work just fine. So here is a ledge, and I can place reeds here and make a breathing point. But I don't know how well this video is going to show up and how much of this terrain you guys can see. But I'm going to continue recording anyways. So my next step is to create the circle, or at least a quarter arch, from this point over to that point over there. And let's try making it back first to the workstation, and then we'll head out that direction and we'll light it up. Okay, here we go. Light. Breathing point. Put another light down. Another light down. I could probably create one right here. Breathing point. Light. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting bug how the water retains the light like this. And here's some effects of the, what are those? I can't think. The abandoned mine shafts. Yeah, when the sand loads, the abandoned mine shafts kind of do this. So I'm going to run out of air. Okay. So I'm going to try and light up the area so you guys can see what I'm doing a lot better. Because I'm betting on YouTube that it is really, really dark. Place of dirt and another breathing point. But hopefully all of this will be under the dome, so eventually I'll be able to see all the way around. But for now it's underwater, and I believe water reduces light by 2 for every block. So underwater is probably not a great place to be filming. Okay, so yeah, we might be able to see that apex, I believe is what those, they're called. The top of an arch is an apex, so that would be an apex and this would be an apex. I'm guessing that's the right word. I could be completely wrong, but what I need to do is I need to connect them in a circular pattern. I already have a I opened up paint and I drew some circles that have a radius of 30. So I do have a pattern to follow on this one. I also drew up a dome. So unlike the library, which I didn't have a pattern at all, and besides it was a kind of a diamond shaped, so it was kind of hard to make a pattern for it. In this case, I have a pattern drawn, so because I don't want to be messing around too much, taking too much time building the dome. I just want to, I prefer to have a pattern to follow instead of guesswork. The hotel, I kind of guessed. I placed out the apex blocks and then I tried to connect it. took me 3 or 4 times of placing the arc and then removing the arc and then placing the arc again and then removing it before I finally got an arc that actually matched on both sides. This time I actually have a pattern to follow. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to place this arc between this point and that point over there, and then I'll take a look at it and maybe record some more. Gonna record this a little step at a time, because if I recorded every single thing I do, it could end up being hours and hours and hours of footage. So I will be right back. Okay, I've almost completed the initial circle, and I'm standing here in a reed stack under 20 blocks of water, I believe. Let's check. Oops, not a screenshot. 42. So that's at least 21 blocks of water above my head, or at least 20 blocks of water above my head. So there's the circle. There's the workstation, the central workstation, and this is, I'm guessing, the north side of this dome, and I've got to close the arc with the west side. So I started by placing 4 blocks. Next I need to place 3 blocks, and I destroyed my breathing point, so I'm going to create another one. Okay, there we go. That's 3 blocks, and I believe the next is 3 blocks, and then 2 blocks, and then 2 blocks, and we need to find a place to breathe. Yeah, working like this underwater is pretty difficult, since I can't just surface. I have to stay down here. Let's see, then 1 block, and then 2 blocks, and then 4 singles. I believe that's going to ruin my breathing point. I don't know. No, it looks like it's okay. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 singles, and I do need to get rid of my breathing point. Alright, it's right here in the way. So let's make another one. Okay. So, not sure where I need to go from here. Oh, place 1, 2 there, a single, a double. Let's run over to get some air. Got some air. Single, double, double, and then I need another double. And it looks like I've got to move the breathing point again. So let's move it over here and grab some more dirt. Got some dirt. Alright. Let's try it from the other direction. Just light up the area so I can see what I'm doing. Actually, so you can see what I'm doing. 1, 2, 3. Let's try another 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're off. How do we fix that? 1, 2, 2, single. Thought my pattern was actually going to work out, but it's not. It's not working as well as I hoped. I'm still coming across some mistakes. So the circle may not actually be as perfect as it could be. It's going to be lumpy. Hmm. Okay, well. Oh, I see what I did wrong. I think. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I think what I need to do is I need to extend it 1. Oops. Here, I need to breathe. Need a breath. Air. There we go. Got the air. Okay, place one there, and place one there, and place one there, and place one there, and place one there. Place one there. Alright, head back and see what we get. Alright, move that, move that, and that, and that, and that, and that one, and this one. So I think we might need to do it again on the other side too. Just add an extra block. So that one becomes 4, that one becomes 3. I think we should have had a 4 and then 2 3s. So, I'm out of air. Ow. Okay. We have some more bread. Move that one. That one. And then these two. And then get some air. And then pick up some of the blocks we dropped. Okay. 2, 1, 2. Huh, it's still not working out. So I didn't want to do this. I wanted to go off the pattern, but apparently the pattern is off. So, hmm. Catch a breath of air, and then we should be able to go 1 and then 2. It looks like we get another. No. Hmm. Okay. So we'll just go like that. The whole running back and catching a breath is kind of annoying. So we've got 2 3s, another 2. Okay. And then should be just singles from here. Alright, I think that is it. Looks, what is this? I didn't put that there. That wasn't me. I don't know where that came from. Okay. So let's make everything even in height, and I'll be right back. And here we go. I don't know what time. It's noon. It looks like it's noon. Alright, where is my box of glass? There it is. So I'm going to need a lot of glass, as much as I possibly can get. And with all this glass that I have, I may only be able to make just a single ring. So let's, oh, we've got some iron cooking. Let's see if we can cook off some more glass while we're at it. I don't have a lot of furnaces set up. I should probably set some more up when I'm, or should probably set up a whole bank of like 16 furnaces. Oh, and I got some gold too, so that I can cook off this glass really quickly. Where do I want to put the iron and the gold? Probably just stick it in here. This is all my extra junk that I've been finding. A lot of this came out of the, oh, what is it? The mine shafts, like the cocoa beans and the rails and the fences all came out of abandoned mine shafts. And I had a whole bunch of chicken eggs left over, so I made myself a little chicken farm down there. That's besides the point. Let's start placing glass. Alright, here we go. Running really fast, so we don't run out of air. These dirt blocks are 10 meters or 10 blocks out from the workstation, so there's our first block of glass. Let's get some more air, and then we'll continue. Alright, I don't think I can place reeds on glass, so what I'm going to have to do is just use these little breathing points that I've set up as I go along. Now that I've kind of got the pattern figured out, it should be a lot easier and faster for me to just run through this. I don't have to keep looking back and forth at the pattern. Oh, and I get ahead of myself and I run out of breath. Come on, get in there. Okay. So let's try getting another breath, and then we'll continue. I'm guessing that this video is probably going to be really dark and not going to be able to see a whole lot, but I do want you guys to get the idea that of, you know, how I actually build stuff, and this is probably the most challenging construction I've ever made, is building a gigantic glass dome underwater. So especially in a server and in a survival mode, I guess. Because for one, when you start taking damage, the server, or in the multiplayer, setup, you lag really bad every time you take damage. So if you're taking damage, it's impossible to swim to the surface. There's really no way to even do that. And I've died many times trying to swim to the surface while I was drowning. In single player, it's not a big deal. You can actually swim back to the surface while you are taking drowning damage. Um, I built, I did a lot of underwater terraforming over by the floating castle, and that happened to me a lot. I'd start taking damage and realize, oh, I need to get some air and go back up to the surface. So, sometimes I'd have one or two hearts left, but it wasn't a big deal. Here on the multiplayer or the SMP with the lag that occurs, and whenever you take damage underwater, it forces you back down. So you actually lose more ground if you're trying to swim up. Um, Moving around from these breathing points that I've set up with the reeds, you can move horizontally while you're taking damage, but for some reason, if you try to swim up, it's like pointless. It's like don't even bother, just die. So that's why I'm setting up these breathing points down here, because not only is it 20 blocks up to the surface, but if I start taking damage, I'm just gonna I need to have something close by within a few blocks. And I know, if you guys watched the, I don't know if it's another episode or if it's just going to be part of the same episode with multiple clips. I don't know how this is all going to break out. I'm trying to record as much as I possibly can so you guys can see as much of what's going on down here. Okay, I think we've made a single circle, so let's go one more around. And I thought I was going to use up all my glass, but why did I do that? Okay, need to eat. Okay, going back up. See, I thought I was going to use up all my glass in just the first circuit. Oh, again, I'm putting glass on my breathing point. I don't want to do that. And in fact, I destroyed my breathing point. Bad, 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 bad. So what I was trying to say is I thought I was going to use up all my glass just going around once, but it looks like I might be able to make 2 or 3 times around. I could make taller reeds. Yeah, there we go. Woohoo! I should have done that first. Let's see if we can make it to the next one. Come on. Alright. Back we go. Once I start getting farther up, I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with the breathing situation. I'm hoping that my building buddies, Uno or Bleed, show up and are able to help me out with this project. We've been discussing it for the last week, but so far they haven't shown up today. Or Uno was here, but he actually had to go to work earlier, right before I started recording. He took off, so hopefully he'll be able to stop by later. But I'm gonna keep placing glass around here. The glass placement is probably the easy part. The hardest part of this project is going to be actually removing all the water from the inside of the dome. There is a ridiculous amount of space. For those math buffs out there, it's going to be a 61 radius dome that is going to be 20 blocks high, or maybe 21 blocks high. So if you do the math, go ahead and figure out how much water has to be removed, and it's all source blocks. Thinking of either just filling it all in with dirt and then removing the dirt, possibly filling in the dirt a slice at a time, like slicing up a pie. Okay, what's going on? I can't swim while in the reeds. There we go. I could make a large pillar of reeds to breathe from. That might be effective. I don't know. Can't swim in the reeds. Okay. See if we can make it to the next point. Yep. There we go. Let's try this one. Okay, I think that's a complete circuit. So I'm going to break off this clip here and pick up the recording when I start working on the next step. And this concludes the second phase of the underwater dome project. And I'm terribly sorry if the video is very dark. Hopefully once I'm under the glass dome and have some air, the recording will brighten up a little bit. So this is One Wolf saying thank you for watching and have a good day.